takes at high stakes. Get a load of these hot takes at high stakes. Get a load of these hot takes at high stakes. Get a load of these hot takes at high stakes.
Oh, hey there. Welcome back to Hot Takes High Stakes, the final episode of 2020.
Wow.
Woo! What a year it's been. I was just telling Corey that this will be our 34th episode
of
2020. Cut the cameras. Do you not remember?
No.
Like just before I got on?
Yeah, like it was like 3-4 minutes ago, Corey. Are you okay? Hey, Woolsey, sidebar real fast. Let's do a quick sidebar on the call.
Okay.
Corey, just take off your headphones or cover your ears or something. He's done this before, and it's honest. It's led to a lot of like really violent outbursts.
Wow.
So I think we just need to be careful with him this episode, because you never know what might, like, once he starts forgetting things, then he starts forgetting who he is, and he starts forgetting his lane. You know,
I'll put 911 on hold.
Right. Okay. Yeah. No, that's good. Just tell them. Okay, stand by. Yeah. Hold everything and stand by.
And they can just listen to the podcast.
Yeah.
What else? Are they
honestly, right. It's no one's having emergencies right now. There's nothing wrong with the world at the moment.
Tread lightly.
Whoa, he was listening the whole time. Oh no.
Okay, yeah. Okay, 911 said that they classified that as a threat.
Right. They're on their way. This is Hot Takes High Stakes, the show where typically we all give one hot take and we send it around and we see whether or not we agree. But I think today's a little special, huh?
A little.
Today's a little special in that it's our final episode of 2020. And we decided let's take a look back at the takes that we've had in the past. But first, before we get into that, I just kind of want to see what we're thinking. What we're thinking about 2020 ending. How does it feel?
I'd like to say, and this actually, now that I think about it, was a take. I guess it kind of counts as a hot take. But I'd like to say I have a feeling in the coming days around New Year's Eve and New Year's both, that people are going to criticize the fact that people are going to be positive and hopeful about 2021. And they're going to say, oh, it's just a number. It's just a year. It doesn't matter. Like we're going to have the same problems. And it's like, they may like technically be right. Like that might be the case. But I think that we as humans give emphasis to the change of a year as kind of like a fresh start. And I get mad when people are that cynical and mean, and just let people have hope.
Mm-hmm. Right. And then, Corey, why do you think that everything is going to be the same next year?
I think hope is created by the devil.
Okay, why? Why is that?
Because in Avatar, whenever they named their baby Hope, the Fire Nation took over, bossing Say not shortly after.
That's okay. That's your evidence.
Yeah.
That's what you're basing your opinion off of.
No more examples needed.
And also, 2021 will be the same. Actually, no, I don't actually think it'll be the same. I think it'll be worse.
Whoa! I think it'll be better. I agree, Woolsey, that that hope is all we got. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Let's just be. 2021, honestly, it could be the same, but it probably won't be, right? We'll get a vaccine and people will be able to go outside, and we'll have a new president. So things will change.
Things are looking up.
For the worse.
Corey's going to be the cynic, the devil's advocate. That's actually how we started 2020, was with an episode called The Devil's Advocate, where Tanner kind of kind of established the theme of his Hot Takes, High Stakes career going forward, in that he wasn't one to ever be taken seriously about anything, and that he would, at any possible moment, he would try to undermine the integrity of the podcast as a whole. So I do believe, and I am positive that we're going to be talking a lot about some specific Tanner takes today.
I have none.
I'm not.
You don't?
No.
I have some. There are a lot. Tanner's definitely a contender for having the worst takes of the year.
I am very
disagree.
heavily Ronick focused.
Corey, who are you focusing on mainly?
I mean, I have one of each, but I think I'm mainly focusing on you two.
Wow.
Really? Wow. Honestly, mine is Ronick focused as well. I have one Tanner take, but that's because I picked takes that I enjoyed and that I liked listening to. Takes such as K is never silent, or devolution is evolution, are two of the worst takes of the year, in my opinion, and honestly don't even deserve to be talked about.
Yeah, I don't understand the devolution is evolution.
I didn't either. I sat in the room listening to him talk about it for probably 20 minutes, and I had no idea what he was talking about by the end
Also,
of
what
it.
is the items should be priced based on how much you use them?
Ridiculous. Another absolutely ridiculous take from Tanner. Like shoes. He was like, shoes should be like $800.
Wow.
Because
crazy.
the more you use them, the higher they should be priced.
Also, what is Ronick's take? The bread's end is your best friend.
He was talking about the heels of bread. He was saying that the heels of bread are good.
Wow.
And are equal to a bread loaf. To which I replied, would you buy a loaf of only heels? And he sputtered and lost the argument.
Wow, shocker.
That's also a contradiction to a different take that he had. I don't know if it was earlier or later, but
Which
complete
one?
contradiction. It's on my list.
Okay, all right. So I think we can start getting into the list. So
Yeah.
I think what we're going to do in this episode is kind of, we're each going to, I think we can go one at a time, bringing up one of our takes that we picked from the hottest takes list. And by the end of the episode, I think we should vote. We should have 3 takes total that we've kind of narrowed it down to, and we should vote on what the hottest take of the year was.
Sounds
Thoughts?
good. Yeah, great.
Okay, so I think, Woolsey, since you said that it's a contradiction of one of Ronick's takes, I think you should go first and bring that take to the table.
All right, I will. I only have 2 takes.
Okay.
And this one's the meat of the pie. It's big.
Right.
So my take comes from episode 32, Ronick, keep mittens in the kitchen,
Right.
which I was a part of that episode, but I just like to revisit because
Okay.
the reason I went back and listened to this, and it's a great first 20 minutes or so, because Ronick has news that he can't wait to express. We obviously keep delaying the news. And then he keeps emphasizing that it's good news. It's good news. We really want to hear it. And the news was that his car was totaled.
Right.
So then we get into his take. And on the Hot Takes website, his take is keep mittens in the kitchen. But I have listed all the takes that evolved from that take and how many different takes he had. So the first original take was why the fuck do mittens exist? Bit of a tongue twister. That then evolved to mittens are for bakers and they should stay in the kitchen. Which got quite a reaction out of all of us as something that sounded very offensive, but it wasn't really that offensive, just more mean than anything.
Yes.
And then that evolved into any chef can be a baker, but a baker cannot be a chef.
Yeah.
And then that bakers can't use a stovetop was another take. So we're at four takes that I've written down so far. And then Cameron, you said, but I was watching the Great British Bake Off, and they used the stovetop to make sauces. And Ronick then replied with the fifth take of his takes, sauce is a crutch.
Right.
Wow. Okay, so Ronick should be banned from takes. He should just
really digging himself
So
into
bad.
a hole. And so then the question got brought up, are mittens high or low class? To which I said, that mittens were high class, and you guys violently disagreed.
I do.
And
Okay.
we can get back into that. But then Ronick said blacksmiths are bakers. And that's it. So I think that's about 6 or 7.
Jesus Christ.
There's a lot to unpack.
And by the way, the only piece of evidence that he used for his original argument was that you can't emphasize anything with your hands and you can't flip people off.
Okay.
So,
Wow.
Yeah.
take of the year.
So does he know why people use mittens? Like why they're better than gloves? Does he know?
Why are they? I don't know.
Because your fingers stay warmer in a mitten than in a glove because they beat off each other's body heat.
Sounds like high class to me.
Well, Corey, you can be the judge of this, because I think my argument for why mittens are low class is because I think they originated in the lower classes, because a glove is harder to manufacture than a mitten. A mitten's basically just like you wrap your hand in fabric, right?
Sure. I don't think it's low class or high class. It's a fucking mitten, and there can be high class mittens and low class mittens. But no, I don't know the origin of how mittens were made. You might be right. Did you look it up?
No, I have no idea. But I've never seen a high class mitten before. I've certainly seen high class gloves.
Well, I bought. I mean, this is for skiing and snowboarding, but I did buy a $100. He is a hybrid between a mitten and a glove. It's called the 3-finger, and the pointer and thumb is separate, but then the middle ring and pinky are in a mitten shape, so it keeps your hand warm, but also it keeps its dexterity. But
That's weird.
You still can't flip people off, so I guess that ruins Ronick's life for mittens.
Wait, for that specific mitten, do you feel like now that you could live with only 3 fingers and be okay?
Yeah, I would say so.
Interesting.
Yoda did.
I
600 years.
can't use claw on Xbox, but I'll live.
Right. that's the only. No, you could use claw.
You could still play Xbox.
You could use claw, Corey, because you could use
I could use all of them for the triggers.
Yeah.
But I can't. It doesn't have any support though. Like I just have to.
True.
Push together with my palms. I have an Xbox controller. I'm like showing everyone. I have to like push together with my palms,
cool.
And then like there's no support because you normally have your 2 like ring and pinky.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there lies the problem. But
therein lies the problem.
if I get some paddles on the bottom of my controller, the Elite controller, whatever it's called.
So you're currently making the argument for high class mittens.
I'm making the argument that I don't think mittens are high or low class. But
okay, but that is a high class mitten.
Yes, I have a high class mitten because it's built for. But there's also cheap and expensive gloves and cheap gloves.
Yeah. So I don't want to spend too much time on this take in particular, but I do think that is a strong contender for take of the year.
Yeah, because I feel like because there was no Oronic never has much evidence to support his takes.
No, he digs a hole and then he digs deeper, and maybe he thinks that his take is devolving and evolving. at the same time.
Wow.
Corey, do you want to give one of the takes off your list?
Yeah. I'll start with this one. It's going to be Cameron's take, actually.
Okay.
Reality TV is the best and most artistic genre of television.
Yeah.
I like that take, but I think it's very hot.
You like it?
Yeah.
Okay. I think for that episode in particular, I just wanted to talk about reality TV, but I needed to make it a hot take. So I said that. And I'm not I don't want to back down from it, because I do think that reality TV is very artistic in that you craft a story out of reality. Like obviously it's the reality is manufactured, but the act of manufacturing reality into a story, I think, is very artistic.
I really do like it because it's kind of a social experiment of sorts. Because they'll always push for drama to happen, especially in Love Island. And the people just go with it. They're like, I'm going to be the asshole. You know? Right.
And also, but also at the same time, you don't even know if they're going for it in reality because it's all edited. Like the editors and producers can completely change how a person looks, and like take their actions and like spin them into a completely different person. You know,
and that's what makes it art.
Yes, indeed.
I like that take.
I mean, I think it came from. I don't know what show I was thinking of in particular.
Not Survivor?
It might have been Great British Baking Show. Like Survivor played into it because I do love that show. But I think having watched Great British Baking Show more recently, I was probably like, this is good. And also now I'm watching The Bachelorette, and that show is crazy. And I think that show has almost changed the rules, or kind of. That show is kind of meta in the fact that like people go on that show to be portrayed, to like kind of
to be good.
They like try to play the game to the point where like they're controlling their own narrative. Like they're trying to give the producers what the producers want to make them into a really popular character that gets them a lot of Instagram followers. But it's like 50-50. Like 50% of the guys are portrayed horribly and 50% of the guys are portrayed very well.
Yeah. It's kind of wild how it can be, because everyone goes on the show to try to be portrayed good. Like no one's going to go on and be, I'm going to be an asshole, you know?
Yeah.
But it still ends up 50-50.
Yes. No, definitely. I think a lot of guys, I think it depends like what kind of guy you want to be, because I think you know that going in you have to be a stereotype. Like you have to fulfill a kind of guy. Like you have to play a character almost. And the guys who take the risks are typically like the guys who are like, I want to be really quirky and really funny, or like the guys who are like, I want to be really suave and really cool. Like the suave and cool guys can very easily be shown as very arrogant and very like they talk down to everyone. And the funny, quirky guys can be seen as like too childish and like annoying. You know, it's you have to walk the tightrope.
Do you think there are moles? Or do you think
that
it's
that'd be crazy?
That's interesting. Like guys that are stuck in there to cause drama.
Yeah, like professional actors.
That are getting paid. That makes me. That's interesting. That's very interesting. I do think that like the producers, like obviously The Bachelorette, going into the season, like first day, like first week, I bet she knows like. These are probably like my top 3, top 4. None of the other ones I want anything to do with. And she could send them all home immediately. But I'm sure that the producers are like, okay, you like, it's good that you know this, but like keep these people around at least at the beginning so that we actually have a show and so that we have like the most entertaining stuff going on.
Well, but didn't she just early? I don't know. I can't keep track of the seasons, but
Yeah.
Did she just choose someone right away, and then they had to choose someone else?
Yeah. So this season, the original Bachelorette, like 3 episodes in, was like, I found my person, just like, and then he proposed and they left.
Wait.
And then everyone was like, what the fuck are we going to do? And then they brought in a far, in my opinion, a far superior Bachelorette. And the season got much better from then on. I stand by that take. That's still my take.
What about this? Sports are the best reality show out there.
That's interesting.
Because movies and shows are made to emulate what already happens in sports because it's so dramatic. And granted, most of it, if you watched every NBA game, it's not going to be, there's going to be stories, but it's not nearly going to be, it's a lot to take in, but you don't have to, which is kind of a great thing.
Yeah, I think that I think sports are definitely a form of reality TV and definitely a form of stories. But I think that what sports lack is the control and the ability to make every season spectacular. Yeah, you know. But
then it makes like those other seasons juicy, like the 2005 Longhorns Rose Bowl. Greatest, you couldn't write it better. It's crazy.
Yeah. I mean,
and because you know that most of the time it doesn't happen.
Yeah. So your bar is low.
Well, the bar is very high.
Yeah.
It just doesn't happen.
I think he's saying that special stuff doesn't happen often.
Buzzer beaters.
When it does happen, it is special.
Yeah. Because you're not expecting it. You're like, oh, this game looks like it might get close, but you know, they might just get blown out.
Yeah. And it's longer too. Like there's way more material, so like not everything can be as crazy. You know, just like a show. Like a show is condensed to like 12 hours, but of a basketball season, even if you just watch one team, that's hundreds of hours.
Oh yeah, that's
of content. Yeah,
300 hours.
So if you condense that, you could definitely make a good show of like 12 hours just with that big slew of time.
And there's tons of side drama. You can kind of tune in what you want and don't want.
It's an interesting take upon a take. But I think I'm going to give one take on my list because we kind of got to speed this up a little bit. We're already 24 minutes in. I'm going to give one take off my list. It's since we haven't talked about him yet, I'm going to bring up Tanner's take that if you use the alpha and beta male system, you are automatically a beta. And I like this take because only the people who are like, you're a beta male are like the most insecure people ever. You know? And I think it kind of turns the whole idea on its head. I don't know what you guys think.
Yeah, it's kind of like, it's more specific. It's funny the way it's worded, but it brings up a more specific thing that like, if you're judging other people, then that like excessively and ranking them, then you're probably just insecure.
Yeah. Yes.
Or like
it really it brings out the worst in masculinity. I don't know. I don't think it's gonna be the one that I pick, but I thought it was worth it to bring it to the table.
Yeah, it's a good tagline, I think.
Yes.
How did that win hottest take?
I think I don't know. The other takes. The other takes.
Beta competition.
I do think it is a hot take for like half of the population. You know.
That's true.
Like for those who use the system, they'd be like, "What are you talking about?" No. Yeah. But for everyone who outside of that community who has a brain, it's not a very hot take. But there you go. Woolsey, do you want to give your next listed take?
I just wanted to mention it because I think that Ronix was from episode 32, the Mittens one was really funny, but I think that this one might be
just bad,
the hottest.
Yeah, hottest.
like hottest take,
Mhm.
and it's early. But it was, I think it was probably May 2020.
Okay.
It was
Yeah.
a wild cast of Josh, Helm,
Yeah.
Tanner, and Will. And
Yeah.
it was an episode called Who Wants to Be a Billionaire?
Mhm.
And the take was by Josh, and it started us right
Yeah.
off at the beginning that he wouldn't, if I want to read it, because I don't have it written down.
Yeah.
If someone offered me $1 billion, I'd say no. Which
Yeah.
is pretty wild. And I read that and I went back and listened to it, and I was just like, how can he defend this? And he does a good job. And in the beginning of the episode, they start off by all calling each other flash drive, which was kind of an iconic moment, in my opinion. But he said that you would lose drive and be depressed if you got it too young. Then you would lose drive and become depressed, and then you'd be the guy that everyone expects to donate all the money to charities. But you have a tough choice to make. I still think I disagree with this take, but I do see the reasoning, and it's very hard. Like, I think most of us would jump to yes, including me. Still, I would just, if $1 billion appeared in my bank account, I would take it. But I do agree that it'd be really tough. And Will brought up a really good point, that he said that if you lose all drive because you got money, then that just meant that your only drive in life was money, and you could you could still have drive and look for other things. And maybe, I mean, in my opinion, you should just donate half of it and then keep half of it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I thought it was a really hot take.
Yeah, it definitely
It is.
Yeah, don't. Or you keep. I think you can put a certain number in savings and have it. You can live off of it or something. If you put, say, like it's $2 million, and then the interest that you receive is basically a livable, solid 6-figure wage.
Dude, what I would do is I would give away half of it to charities, or like the best charity. Like, there are charities out there that are like shitty, and that like your money doesn't really go where it's supposed to go, or like that it's just really like a tax write-off for you.
Or just pay taxes.
Bill Gates. Well, you would pay taxes, but what I would do is I would give half of it to charities. Then I have 500 million, right? I would put half of that into a high yield savings account, get interest upon interest on my $250 million. And then I would just live off the other $250 million.
Yeah.
I had a funny moment the other day where my dad, every so often, it's not like a thing, but usually around Christmas, it started with my grandpa would buy us scratch-offs. And we'd all do scratch-offs together. And so recently my dad came home and he surprised us, and he got each of us a scratch-off, and we all did it together. And I always get nothing, and Bennett always gets about, my brother always gets about like $15 or $20 every time. And the grand prize for this one was $100,000. And Bennett had what we called a Bennett moment. And he said, would we be out? Meaning,
what?
Would we be out of the game, as it were?
$100,000. Like the scratch-off game, you mean?
No. Would my dad not have to work anymore?
Oh, if you want
$100,000. I just thought it was funny and relevant, because there was it seems like it would just like change your life, but even like $1 million and like $1 million, obviously, but like then you hear about NBA players complaining about differences in millions of their salary, but it's just all it's all just perspective and like the lifestyle that you're used to.
I do think what, Cameron?
No, you go.
I was gonna say, I do think the take that you wouldn't accept $1 billion is a very privileged.
Yes.
Yeah.
I agree. I think it makes sense to like be like, okay, where's this money coming from? Like that would be a big thing. Is
Yeah,
like,
true.
who is giving me $1 billion and who am I going to be indebted to for the rest of my life? But if it was no strings attached, $1 billion to just do whatever I wanted to with it, I would take it.
Yeah,
for sure.
I would too. Yeah, he said it just appears in your bank account and there's nothing illegal about it, I think.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well then, yes, I would do it.
Yeah, me too.
For sure. Corey, do you want to read the next take that you have?
Or next take, I'll do Woolsey's. The year's 2200, and I'll be darned. The world looks a lot like Minecraft.
Yes. This was a bizarre one.
That is bizarre because I'm kind of interested into what that means.
Yeah, I was too. And I honestly don't remember, so I would love to hear it from the horse's mouth
from
once
the
again.
Yeah, let me
OC.
I'm trying to see if I have my notes. No, I think I wrote it down in a journal. So the idea was I had that tagline in my head.
Mm-hmm.
But the main idea is that, okay, Minecraft is still made to reflect the reality that we live in. It's disregarding the squares. I think in the future, similar to Black Mirror episodes, we will have VR will be non-external, basically. And we'll be able to display our name above our head. Mm-hmm. We'll be able to have stats and health, be able to see what our health is very easily. Medicine will advance in that way. You'll be able to, social media will also not be external anymore. You could like chat with your head. And virtual reality, you could make the reality seem whatever you want, like mods and stuff or texture packs. And you could kind of view reality as you wanted, which was, I'm trying to think if there were any other points, but that was mainly it, was that like I'm thinking about the advancements that seem like logical steps in VR, and gosh darn it, it looks like Minecraft.
So basically it just looks a lot like a video game, and you chose Minecraft specifically.
Well, Minecraft is the most it's extremely social. It isn't it's open world. There's mods involved. It's very relatable. Like most people know what Minecraft looks like, and it's not just about one thing.
Yeah.
It's not just a shoot 'em up game or something like that. Like, I guess you could say it's like Second Life or something.
Yeah, it's a game about life, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Does that clear it up for you, Corey?
Yeah, I like that.
I think it all seems very feasible.
I like the health one too. Like if a doctor just rolls by someone and they have like 10% health, and they just try to
then they give them just a slab of steak.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
You're saved.
Yeah.
Just regen your health.
That would be that would be probably the most enjoyable thing for me, is to just see other people's health levels, like how many hearts someone has at this moment.
What about a kill count?
A kill count?
Is that a thing count in Minecraft?
Yeah, because you can.
You can set it.
Yeah, you can set the scoreboard, and it can show how many times you've killed people. So that could be displayed. Like, stay away from this guy.
That is if I had to pick one thing to like know instantly about people, has this person killed someone?
Yeah.
That's very interesting to me.
But the odds of it being a yes is so low, it's kind of pointless. But that one time where it would be, what if like the person didn't know? Like they accidentally say they were on a trail and they slipped in like a a rock started rolling down the hill, and they like didn't really think of it.
That's true.
And
It
it
just
hits someone in
pops
the
out.
head.
Mm.
They're dead.
Or
and
like-
then they're just like, fuck. When did I kill someone?
Yeah. Or like you shouted on a mountain and like the other side of the mountain, like an avalanche started
Yeah.
and you had no idea. That would be crazy. Just like if the government, if like some tech company was like, all right, we figured it out. All of a sudden, everyone's going to know what everyone else's kill count is. And they snap their fingers and you look down and you're like,
And it's like 4.
I have 2 kills. Yeah.
You're like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Imagine Trump's right now. Let's get political.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. I mean, he'd be like, it's like, I think he would be depressed by how actually high it is. He'd be like, okay, I expect like 300 to 400,000, but then he looks and he's like,
Like 2 million.
oh shit. Yeah. That is interesting too, like butterfly effect kills.
Yeah, how does
Yeah,
that
do they
work?
count?
Yeah. You have your direct kills, but like your butterfly effect kills. That's interesting.
Yeah,
That'd be
That's not
crazy.
I want an
if you
app
had
that'll
direct
like
and indirect kills.
right. Yeah, you would. Like I want an app that shows me like if I had made this choice in my life, what would my life look like now? You know?
Oh,
Ooh.
God.
A parallel
Yeah.
universe.
Or like this slight, like oftentimes I think about like if my great to the 10th power grandfather had like tripped on a rock one day, like if he had been stepping over a rock and he had accidentally tripped and he missed his train or he missed his like envoy, his camel, whatever. Like what
Camel?
like yeah, if it's that far back and people are traveling on like horses or camels or wherever he lived, like how, like would he not have met my
probably
great grandmother? But no, we all originated from Mesopotamia,
that's
you
true,
know.
yeah.
So just like what's the smallest thing that could have happened for me to have never existed? That's what I want to know. That's just a thought.
Yeah.
I want to give my next take.
Do it.
Go
And-
for it.
I'm gonna do this one because I want to make sure I get it in. It's probably my favorite take of the year. It's Ronik's take. And it's everyone should have to sit to pee.
Oh, God.
I love this take because like literally I see no problems with it. I really don't. It adds like what 5 seconds to your day, maybe.
I do sometimes
That's
sit
not true.
if I want to. I'm like super tired.
Yeah. Yeah.
I usually sit
Hmm.
because I want to
You
go.
do?
Yeah, I usually sit because I want to go on my phone. I will say that it may not add just 5 seconds, and that it may add quite a bit of time because male public restrooms.
Like you have to wait in line.
You have to
mean?
wait in line, and then they're
Yeah.
on their phone.
Also, are you in public restrooms? Do you think you should have to sit too?
Yeah. Everyone should have to sit all the time.
Because like girls, a lot of times they just hover over because they don't want to actually touch the seat.
Well, then we need better public service money to be going into those sectors to clean the toilets.
Or just use a urinal.
Yeah, what was Ronik's reasoning?
Because I can't because there would be less spray. There'd be less spray. Yeah.
Oh,
You never miss.
but sometimes.
The toilets would overall be cleaner. Was his take overall?
Sometimes if you're a guy and you're sitting, it can go out the lips of the toilet.
Right, but I feel like that's so much less common than
That's true.
than like someone standing and peeing on the seat. You know?
Yeah.
But that was just a take I enjoyed because I feel like it really embodies what a good take is, and that it's hot.
Mm-hmm.
he had stories, reasoning, a lot of stuff to back it up, and it's a great tagline. Like, it's a great, quick little thing to say,
and it's really common. Like, it's a thing people think about too.
Oh yeah, it's like it can inspire conversation with literally anyone.
And early, it was episode 13.
Episode 13. Which I think kind of makes sense that as I feel like as his takes have progressed, they've gotten worse and worse and worse. So, and
mostly food based. I was looking at a lot of his takes were food based.
Yeah.
Oh, and that was I never brought up why the bread was a contradiction. The sliced bread thing.
Oh yeah, why is that?
Because he said that we started questioning on him because he said he was the one true baker, and so we, because you can't cut anything. We were very deep into the conversation. You can't cut anything if you're a baker because that makes you a chef. Bakers only bake, and he's a baking purist. And so we asked him what meals he made, and he said like baked fish and baked bread. And then we asked if he cut the bread, and he said no.
Right.
That he ate the bread.
just like a loaf. Just in a loaf.
And so then he said the bread's end is your best friend.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Which I guess isn't a contradiction because he could just eat the bread's end.
Yeah.
True. But if he buys the sliced bread already, he doesn't have to cut the bread, right? So he's not a chef.
But why would he bake the bread if a loaf of doesn't make much sense?
No,
I mean you're correct. It did not make it sense.
Also, I've seen Ronick cook.
He's a liar.
Woolsey, have you given both of the takes that you brought?
Yes, I have. It was just Ronick and Josh's.
Corey, do you have one more?
I do. It's from Resma, and it's a freshwater snail would be the 3 seed in a 16 team, in 16 team deadliest animal bracket.
Yes, this was a very, very fun conversation to have. Tanner was pissed, but me and Rez enjoyed making him progressively angrier and angrier. Resma's reasoning, I don't know if either of you guys have heard the episode.
No, I haven't.
But Resma's reasoning was because freshwater snails are one of the deadliest animals in the world because of all the diseases that they bring. One being schistosomiasis, I believe, which I don't know what that does, but apparently it's one of the biggest killers in the entire world.
Wow. It's very specific.
very specific.
Did he list out the rest?
Wasn't. Yeah. He had a full bracket and we went through it. The take wasn't that it would win the bracket. The take was
the 3 seed.
Yeah.
The 3 seed.
Because based on kill count.
Yeah. Then it was like the bracket itself was like a 1v1. It was like you put these two animals in a room and who comes out alive.
Oh yeah. So.
And I think the freshwater snail made it to the semifinals or the finals. I don't remember. It had some favorable matchups. For sure, and a few Cinderella story upsets. But I think it beat. Mosquitoes were on there because of how deadly they are, but like.
But if it's just one,
I think
mosquito.
the snail is just. Yeah, but yeah, true. But like the snail, I think was hard to kill.
Salt.
But these animals don't have salt. Like you put a bear and a snail in a room, and I don't remember what animal won. I would have to go back and listen to the episode, but it was a very enjoyable episode to record and one of the best of the year, in my opinion.
Wow.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Well, it's early ones.
Yes.
We fell off.
And I can give my last one that I have. It's about at the mid. No, it's early too. This one's early too. But this one, my last one, is up there for me, just in terms of the insanity of the take and how dangerous it is. Not a lot of our takes are actually dangerous to the public, but this one is. It's Ronick's take that he's saying if you're driving in a car and you have blinkers, like left turn, right turn, mix it up a little. Say you're going right and then go left, or say you're going left and then go
No,
right.
he's inciting dangerous driving.
Oh,
Indeed.
I thought
But
he
he's-
meant change the light pattern or the color. Whenever I read that,
No.
See, that would actually make sense, right?
and then people would use them because they'd be excited about it.
Yo, custom
No.
blinkers.
What he ended up saying is that say you're sitting at a light, and you have your right turn blinker on, and someone's sitting behind you, and they're kind of zoned out. They're not really paying attention. They're like, you know how you get in like those trance states when you're driving, all of a sudden you're somewhere, and you're like, how did I get here?
No, well, not like that, but totally.
Well, you know what I mean. Like that was an exaggeration, but like you just kind of space out.
Okay.
He's saying that if you have your right turn on at a light and then you turn left, you snap that person out of their trance, and they're like, "Oh my god, that person turned left instead of right," and overall creates a safer driving environment.
That's
That's what he ended up saying.
Some of the worst, like, backwards logic I've ever heard.
What would
It's really,
what would Roddick's
It's
kill
really
count
insane.
be?
Wow.
it would be high. It would be high, and obviously he would walk out of every crash
Completely
unscathed.
fine. It's like the concept of brake checking.
Yeah, exactly.
That's crazy.
Now they're going to be more
So,
alert,
yeah.
but I did create a 10-car pileup in the process.
Mix it up a little. That's funny.
He caused like a 10-car crash, and he's like, "Well, did you guys learn your lesson?"
Except that's for brake checking. For the blinker part, that's like not even a lesson to be learned. It's his fault. He's the one that put the blinker on. There's no lesson to be learned.
Right.
He's
Exactly.
devil's advocate.
Okay, so we've given all of our takes, right?
Yes, I have.
Maybe. Do you, wait, Corey, give one honorable mention, one that you whittled down that you didn't get to say.
Oh, okay.
Just say it. We don't have to talk about it at length.
Either do Christmas lights well or don't do them at all.
Yeah, I like that one. That's one of my
I agree
faves.
with it. I agree. With it.
Yeah, I think he got 2 agrees. Woolsey, were you on that episode?
Wait, which one? Oh yeah, I was. Yes. Yeah, it was an agree.
Also, I kind of just want to talk about some of them. Like, I kind of want the context. Roddick
Okay.
said hindsight isn't 2020. What does that mean?
He means that your memory isn't perfect. You misremember things, so you're not seeing it 2020, because 2020 is perfect vision. And when you look back, you're seeing it like a sub-perfect level. Yes, exactly. It's very
Roddick's take always starts with the tagline, it seems, and then just
Yes.
tries
Yeah.
to defend it.
Yeah, unlike Tanner, who will give like a very convoluted take, and then there's a nugget there that he definitely could have worded better. But I agree, Roddick kind of
What
works
about
backwards.
Sam's when he said, "Please put your cereal in your coffee"?
Yeah, he's saying that cereal is like if you're in a rush in the morning and you can't eat breakfast and make your coffee, or like you're running out the door grabbing your coffee, just dump some cereal in your coffee. So that way it's coffee and breakfast.
Yeah,
I like that he said please.
Yes, he likes to embellish his takes a little.
I was thinking about my felony one that you should have to start school over again. And I think I'm a pretty hard disagree on that one now.
Yeah.
It's pretty wild. And,
there were some flaws.
It's definitely like really harsh.
Yes,
because,
indeed.
yeah, some things that are felonies aren't like, you don't have to, it's not a 12-year sentence where you have to go to school.
Right.
And also you could
also
it could
wrongly
just be wrong. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's the arguments about everything.
Also now, apparently with the COVID relief bill, illegally streaming things is a felony.
For profit, yeah.
Oh, okay, for profit.
Yeah, you can still watch. I'm still watching on streaming sites.
Yeah. Of course.
Also,
allegedly.
Can we just talk about the nightstand take for 2 seconds? And just talk about how bad of a take it is?
Terrible take. Nightstands are so important.
Do you know the context, Corey?
He said he would jostle around in his bed, worst sleep of all time, and then
Yeah.
roll over head on it and die. First of all, he's gonna die from the max height he could fall onto a nightstand is maybe 5 inches, or it's gonna be above his head, so he falls and just hits a floor, which would miss a nightstand. So regardless, doesn't really matter. Or it's below him, and it would even cushion it. It would almost like prop your body up, and you would land on your ass.
Yeah, it's that one's funny because he's saying that he gets horrible restless sleep at night because he fears rolling over onto his nightstand.
It's such an irrational fear. And just also be afraid of falling off your bed. Why do you have to be afraid that you're gonna hit the nightstand?
If anything, he needs more nightstands.
Just the idea of him falling off his bed and hitting his head on his nightstand is very funny to me. It's just like the image of it. But yeah, God, we have some gems in here. We have some gems.
We got to narrow it down.
I think what we should do is we should all give we should pick out of our pools. So like I have a
choose
pool
one.
of so out of my takes that I brought, mix up the blinkers, alpha beta system, and everyone should have to sit to pee. Which one should we nominate for take of the year?
I would say the sit to pee.
I agree.
Just as a classic.
I agree.
So we're choosing just yours?
No, we'll choose one from each of the pools that we brought. So now we pick one from Woolsey's, and then we'll pick one from yours, Corey. Okay. And then out of those three, we'll vote on which one is the take of the year.
Cool.
So Woolsey, what were your takes?
This one's tough. It was I wouldn't take $1 billion, or the mittens one. I forgot the exact phrasing.
Right. That is tough.
It's really tough because one of them. Oh, keep mittens in the kitchen.
Right.
Which that one is, I think, maybe the funniest take. But I think the billionaire one is hotter. So I don't know what's the criteria.
I think it's just
best take.
You can use the criteria. You can say like, because there's good takes and there are hot takes. Like good takes or bad takes or hot takes or cold takes. So you could say whichever one is good and hot. You could say whichever one embodies the podcast as a whole. Whichever one sounds best. Up to you. Okay,
I think I'm gonna go keep mittens in the kitchen just because of how enjoyable it is.
Yeah, Corey, what do you think?
I think the billionaire like embodies the hot takes more, but I do think that Ronix takes are fun to talk about because usually they're really easy to make fun of.
They are.
Yeah.
Corey, do you have a Ronick take in your 3 or no?
No, I don't, because I don't like them. I think they're bad.
I'm gonna pick. God, this is really hard. I think I'm gonna pick keep mittens in the kitchen just because of how fun the conversation was and how good of an episode it was.
It was really good.
And Corey, your takes were what?
Reality TV is the best and most artistic genre of television. Then I have the year is 2200 and I'll be darned, the world looks a lot like Minecraft. Last one is a freshwater snail would be the 3 seed in a 16-team deadliest animal bracket.
I am partial to that one just because of how much I enjoyed that convo. So I'm going to vote for that one. That one has my vote.
I think that one takes it for me.
I was going to do it also because I thought it was just hilarious.
It's really good.
Okay, sweet.
And it somehow like is just when you're reading it, it seems like a hot take.
Yes. Okay, cool. So we have our 3 nominees. We have everyone should have to sit to pee. We have keep mittens in the kitchen, and we have the freshwater snail would be the 3 seed in the 16-team deadliest animal bracket. Those are our nominees. And in the voting system, I think we'll say like everyone should have to sit to pee. Vote for me. Everyone or keep mittens in the kitchen. Vote for Woolsey. And then 16-team animal bracket, vote for Corey. just like the typical hottest take system that we do.
Okay.
All right, are you ready?
Yeah.
This is take of the year. This feels like the Oscars.
It's crazy.
In 3. Oh, so here's how we'll vote. We'll vote me, or we'll vote Corey, then Woolsey, then me.
Okay.
Okay.
Ready? In 3, 2, 1.
Cam.
Corey.
Oh God! Wait. I think. Wait, you can vote for yourself, right? Because
Yeah.
it's not our takes. Yeah, I'm gonna vote Cam. I'm gonna vote for everyone should have to sit to pee.
That's crazy.
What is?
That's
Wow.
hot.
Going back
Full circle.
to the second hottest take we ever had on Hot Takes High Stakes.
That means that second place was
Wait, you said
Freshwater
second
snail.
hottest?
snail.
No, it was the second. It was episode 13, which is the second episode in which we started doing hottest take.
Oh, gotcha.
But it is the second hottest take. There's no real good way to say it, but it's number 2. You can't even say it like that. It's just the second one we've ever done. So yeah, congrats to Ronick. I don't know. Does he get like the crown for 2021?
Well,
Second winner of hottest take.
Yes, it was
Wait,
the second winner of
actually-
hottest take.
I don't know. Whatever. So the second place is the water snail,
Yes, freshwater snails.
Ronick had 2
And
in the
then-
top 3.
and then
He did.
Mittens should stay in the
whatever.
kitchen.
Mittens should
fake
stay in
it.
the kitchen.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's 2020, guys. That's the
Crazy.
whole year summed up in one episode. Some great hottest takes, and I
And
think we'll
some
be
bad.
leaving this year, and some really bad ones. But I think they all make for great pod fodder. With that, we jump into 2021 with hopefully a whole new batch of great hot takes. And I can't wait for the year in review episode next year.
Are we the council?
Maybe we'll be able to bring in everyone.
Yeah.
Because it felt
It was
like
just us.
why are
Yeah,
why are we the
yeah.
Oscar voters,
Yeah.
But it is what it is. This is just how the rotation ended up working out. Just kind of like how Saturn and Jupiter were recently in conjunction. Some things just happen at certain times. So that's that. Subscribe to Mountain Men Vids on YouTube. Subscribe to Mountain Men Games on YouTube. Mountain Men Games. Now, I love to say it, but it's been over 100 subscribers for a while now, but it's just over 100 subscribers. It's a great accomplishment. Subscribe to the podcast on iTunes, not iTunes, Apple Podcasts. Rate and review. And you can see all of our hottest takes, the hottest take list, at plumpgoose.co on the Hot Takes High Stakes page. Anyway, final words for 2020 for a year of hot takes.
We'll see ya.
See you later, 2020.
See you later, 2020.